everyone, it's Kimber Schaefer here. We are here at Wilshire Gun Range in Oklahoma City, sponsored for Rage in the Cage 51, which is going down April 22nd at Sugar Creek Casino. And I am so excited. I have a debut fighter next to me. This is Crossley, and I love to get to know debut fighters. So let's just start with the basics. Tell our Rage in the Cage YouTube fans a little bit about yourself. I know that you wrestled in high school, and that's the obvious progression to get into MMA, so tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, I wrestled in high school for Mustang and did some MMA training right after high school, and then went to work and been out of it for a while, have a bunch of friends that still fight, and just tried to talk me into doing it, and so here I am, going to start it back off.
So you train at USA Stars, which is an amazing gym, and I'm so excited that we have some fighters from USA Stars because it's been quite some time that we've had a fighter on one of our cards. So tell me a little bit about your gym and your training there.
We do usually every day right now, 5 days a week. During the weekdays we do 6 to 8, 6 to 9 p.m. We come in and we either do striking, kickboxing, or just wrestling, grappling. It's mostly a judo gym. It's owned by Pat Burris, which is an Olympian judo guy, and he's a great guy, and he lets all of us go up there and train. They have some awesome coaches. Jason's one of our coaches. He's the head MMA coach, so really never know what you're going to get whenever you step in there. You're going to war every day though, so it's nice. And on the weekends we train there quite a bit too, but we just do different things. So I've been practicing a lot with my stand-up, being a wrestler. That's probably my weakest link, and knowing the guy I'm fighting, he's a stand-up guy, so I've been practicing quite a bit of that.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, I have seen Dalton. He's fought for Rage in the Cage a few times. In fact, I think he's got about 6 fights. I think maybe 1 or 2 of those wins were recently.
Sure.
I haven't looked at his record today, so I'm just winging this, folks. But I know that he is a taller gentleman. He does have a reach on him, and he is stand-up. So how are you going and training this? Obviously, being a wrestler and fighting against somebody that definitely has a reach advantage and is a stand-up fighter.
Sure, I just, like I was saying earlier, just going in there, practicing my stand-up, practicing boxing, and as much kickboxing as I can. Obviously, with the wrestling background, I'm still staying fresh with that, but I intend on going in there, probably taking him down and just seeing what I can do. I would like to stand up with him for a little bit to see, how good my stand-up is next to him. But him having 6 fights and me starting off fresh, there's definitely some experience he has that probably play in his favor. But I'm not anxious about it. I'm pretty excited to get in there and just see what I can do.
Well, and I know being a wrestler, you've had your turn of being on that mat and being in the spotlight. What are some of your best memories from your wrestling years?
Honestly, my favorite part of wrestling was just practicing and having the guys, just the camaraderie with all of your teammates, and I really enjoyed that going through it. But obviously it's nice to go out there and win too, because it's just you out there you have to depend on when you're in the match. But just building those relationships with all of my teammates and friends from the past, they'll be lifelong friends, and that's just something you can't recreate. I like that the most, probably.
Very true, and MMA is a lot the same. I mean, sometimes you fight somebody, and you win or lose, you become their best friend afterwards. So.
Sure, absolutely.
You obviously have a lot of teammates at USA Stars that have been in the cage before. How are they preparing you for that moment when the cage door closes and it all becomes real? I mean, to keep your cool.
Yeah, they've all been very encouraging. I'm not very anxious, honestly, and I'm sure it'll probably be a different story when it comes time to do that. But we have a cage there at the gym, and I lock myself in there with some bears on a regular basis. So, and I've survived, and so that's really all you can do is get in there and do live training. It's probably the best thing for me to be prepared. But there's some phenomenal athletes up there that have been doing MMA for an awful long time and didn't stop and have continued to do it since either their college wrestling career or high school wrestling career. But I think that's really their way of just getting me ready. But they're all pretty confident I'll go in there and take care of business and do what I need to do and just keep my composure. So hopefully I don't let them down.
Well, I don't see it. You've got such a great team behind you, but you've got a great spirit, and I can tell that you've been doing this for a long time. And normally I like to dive a lot deeper into interviews, but they're rushing me today. We've got an entire house full of fighters. So any last words, any sponsors or shout outs?
No sponsors, but I look forward to meeting Dalton, and I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully it's a good show for everybody. We don't let anybody down.
Yeah, I don't foresee anybody being let down from this event. I mean, from the first fight all the way up to the top. I mean, you've seen the fight card. I just saw it today myself, and this is going to be a stellar lineup of fighters, some of the finest in Oklahoma and across the region, actually. Rage in the Cage 51, April 22nd, Sugar Creek Casino. You can get tickets from this guy right here, Brandon, any other fighter on the card, or at StubWire.com, and you've got no excuse. See you at Sugar Creek Casino in Hinton, April 22nd. You better be there.